We're live.
Hello and welcome to the Weekly Word. Today is Thursday, September 19th. I'm Morgan West.
And I'm Rich Parler, welcoming our very special guest once again, Matt Davids, aka Dice Geeks. Matt, tell us the viewers a little bit about yourself. Again.
All right. Yes, my name is Matt Davids. I run the website dicegeeks.com. I am an author and creator of RPG resource books. The main one would be the Book of Random Tables.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember talking about that. I am very much a random tables person.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was that you were with us last time? It was like
I believe
June?
it was June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe how quickly the summer passed. It's already almost October. That's asinine.
That's okay.
Yeah. But today we've got some fun topics. The first one, the subject of podcasts, was brought to us by you. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what made you pick this topic?
Well, tomorrow I officially launch my podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it is dicegeeks.com, tabletop RPG show. Kind of the concept is that to run better games, we need to be interesting. So we're going to fill ourselves with stories and knowledge so we can just kind of have access to those whenever we come to the table. So I will be interviewing authors, creators, all kinds of things, all kinds of different people, archaeologists.
Wow.
All kinds of different people.
That's cool. I feel like that's a great opportunity to provide a little bit more insight into the things that we research as DMs.
What about author archaeologists?
Mm-hmm. If I can find one, they're in. Yep.
Do they have to speak differently when you're asking them different questions? Because that would be awesome.
Oh my god. You're too much. But
all right.
That is something I find myself doing a lot. I'll go down a Wikipedia hole when I'm prepping for a DM session. It's really bad. Like the other day, I was Googling how often do you have to milk cows? It's not something that would otherwise ever fit into my life as a Long Islander, but here I am. The answer can be up to 4 times a day, which is crazy. But
yeah.
So how long have you been planning this, Matt?
So I've been planning it for quite a while. It took me a little bit to kind of pull the trigger on it, but finally, just after doing some research, I just started emailing guests or potential guests on September 3rd, and people started responding, and so I just started putting it together as quickly as I could.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'll, I said the official launch is tomorrow, but if anybody wants to check it out, there are 3 episodes that are live now. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify,
Sweet.
It's on everything. And yeah, I got 3 episodes. The first episode is really, really cool. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ray Harryhausen, the special effects wizard from the stop motion animation. So yeah. The original Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, original Clash of the Titans. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Mighty Joe Young. Some of those.
I remember those movies. I remember that.
One of the trustees of his foundation is just releasing a new book about the movies that he didn't make, that he had a whole bunch of artwork and stuff for. So he was gracious enough to come on the show, and we talked about movies and film history and about stop motion animation and
Very
the
cool.
book about Ray Harryhausen. So that was a really cool first episode out there. But like I said, I have 3 episodes kind of ready to go. So.
Awesome. We were, we've been talking about a lot of this show. Most of the show isn't visual, so I can rip out the audio from the show, and we can put these in podcast form. And we were thinking about doing that. So let me ask you, how did you go about doing it? Packaging the podcast, or create what service do you use, or is there a service, or how do you go about doing it? What it boils down to.
Yeah. Well, I decided to go with a podcast host, and I used Libsyn,
Okay.
and I just decided to go with them because it makes it easier to, I won't slow down my website if I host the files on my website and things like that.
Yeah.
So I went with Libsyn, and then they do pretty much everything. You just need to make sure you have artwork that is certain specs for iTunes, because iTunes is pretty serious about the artwork. So it has to be big enough and a high enough quality kind of artwork for them, and it has to be a perfect square and things like that for iTunes. And then once you set up the host, I mean, it's really easy. It's just you need to make sure you have the name of your show, keywords, kind of host names and things like that, and it's just really it's pretty easy just to go right in there and set it all up. And then once you do that and you upload at least one episode, you'll get an RSS feed link.
Yeah.
And so once you get that link, then that's when you go out and you submit it to iTunes, and you submit it to Stitcher, and you submit it to Spotify and some of the other providers. And then you just have to wait a few days, and then they approve it.
Awesome.
And so, like I said, so I mean, it's really simple. They said the biggest reason why they don't get approved is because of artwork on iTunes. So you just want to make sure you find the artwork requirements for iTunes, and then just make sure you follow that. So you definitely have to have artwork for your podcast. But other than that, I mean, it's very simple process. It's just a number of steps.
I definitely think that's something we should do. I have the link to your website in the description down below. They can get to your podcast from there. But I think that's awesome. I'm going to try to check them out, because I don't know. There's nothing that we don't do on this show. There's nothing we do on this show that somebody couldn't just listen to.
Except for next week.
With the exception of
Sunday.
Or slug sex.
Yes, that wasn't that.
Actually, if
I could do a really good job describing the photo.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so just so you know, we're doing a special charity show on Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So Sunday we're looking to raise money for. We're going to talk about it later, so I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah.
But what Morgan's talking about is there's going to be a couple of things that we're going to do here for every $10 or so that we raise, including me doing push-ups or going completely against my paleo diet.
Yes. And
eat a White Castle hamburger. But when you think
White Castle's not paleo?
No, for some strange reason it's not. I don't understand. So the thing is that if you go back to the Howard Stern days, they did a lot of visual things, and they went the other way. They just described them, and then eventually came out with what they filmed they would put online. So we were just doing it backwards. If people want to see it, they can then go online and check it out.
Sure.
So, but. All right, so we're going to be talking about Action Against Hunger shortly.
Yes.
And we'll, of course, we are going to make sure that Chaotic Anarchy and Thread Raiders are thanked very much for inviting us to do this, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm really excited.
And Matt, I'm actually looking forward to the podcast, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll get a letter, and he'll want to talk to us again.
Oh my goodness.
I'll have to check my list.
Way to go there, Matt. Nice save. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on to our D&D tip. Even if you only have 10 minutes to prepare, if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera, guys, just so you know, we have a big giant TV now that has the script on it, and I'm trying to read it from there. Because we're going to try to follow a script eventually.
What?
Even if you only have 10 minutes to prepare for your game, spend those 10 minutes on the most important elements of your game prep. Who are the characters? Where will it start? What secrets and clues might they discover? And I'm going to add a little something here. For the rest, you can randomize. Thanks to Matt.
Yes.
This was provided by Sly Flourish.
Yes.
So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, if I have 10 minutes to prepare, that's a lot. So actually, yeah, I just put out my new book, The No Prep Game Master here.
Ooh.
I saw it. I saw that. I saw that on Amazon. Or was it on your website? I saw it on your website. I apologize.
Yeah. Well, it's on Amazon and it's on DriveThruRPG as well.
Cool.
But yeah, usually right before the session starts, that's usually some of the time that I have to prepare. So it's just like, everything's kind of out and I'm done with everything, and that 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever right before the session starts is a really good time to prepare. I think it really depends on where you are. If you're starting a new campaign, hopefully you at least know what kind of characters your players are bringing and things like that. But usually in that case, even if I haven't got to prepare for a new campaign, as long as I know the characters that the players are bringing, I will just throw them right into combat. So I will look up some kind of creatures or something like that. I'll use that 10 minutes to look up creatures or some kind of interesting combat, and then have that combat start presenting questions to the players, right? So it's like, why were they attacked? Why are they here? Why are there so many orcs here, or goblins, or why? And so as soon as those questions start getting answered in the session, your story just starts building right out of that.
Oh, awesome. I like that. That's really smart.
I did something similar this past week. I'm sorry, Matt, were you finished? You can... I didn't mean to interrupt. Because Morgan yells at me when I do that.
I do.
Because I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say, if it's an ongoing campaign, then if I just know something about the session, then I use those 10 minutes to grab some creatures or to look up a specific item that I need or something like that. And then I just run with it. Nice.
We this past Wednesday, I was thinking all week about it, and what I did was I knew the person they were going to meet. I wanted to introduce somebody who's going to be a nuisance throughout the campaign.
Okay. Not
a one-time beat me up, because we talked about multi-layers of evilness, right? So they've only discovered one level of the plot. They captured someone, and I was going to say, well, how are they going to interrogate it and figure out how it was going to go one way or another?
Right.
They took the typical the typical PC to NPC interrogation route, and they try to beat it out of them. Right? So when someone's affected in their mind, there's nothing they could do. Beating doesn't help.
That was like one of the topics from last week.
It's just from last week, so it was so funny for it to happen. But I completely forgot to plan out anything else. I didn't plan out any of the bad guys. I didn't plan out the layout of the tower they were going into, which I constantly call a temple. There's a 100-story tower that nobody knows how or who built it and stuff. But I completely forgot to do the layout.
That's funny.
And so I was making that up as I was going along, and it worked out. I thought it worked out pretty well. And then I went to a couple of really easy throw-together monsters, which I have memorized. So, and it worked out.
I inevitably do the exact same thing every time I'm planning for a session, which is I get really, really heavily invested in like the first 3 minutes of the session, or what I think the first 3 minutes will look like, and then inevitably I get really distracted. Hence, how many times a day do you milk a cow? So, I ran a session for my boyfriend and 2 of his friends who've never played D&D before on Sunday, and so I was trying to keep things simple. I don't plan on seeing these particular characters in a game again. It was more like an intro to D&D. What can you expect? What does a normal session or your run-of-the-mill session look like? So I had planned that they would be facing some sort of goblin threat, and then just became completely and utterly consumed with what are the chores one would have to do in the morning at a farm, and spent 45 minutes or so Googling what does the inside of a chicken coop look like? What what are the different parts of a chicken coop? Chickens roost on beams that must be above their nest boxes, in case you were curious. But I did finally bring it all full circle. About an hour before this session was supposed to start, I was like, okay, they're going to be in a mine shaft. We're going to get this going. Whether or not they get there from the farm where they're starting, or they visit like the posting board in the center of town, or they decide they're going to head out of town, they're going to run into a overturned cart. And one way or another, all of those various things might eventually lead to a mine shaft goblin hangout, which is what happened. So, but inevitably, my prep sessions go something along the lines of way too much time invested in a Wikipedia hole, and then frantic, oh no, oh no, oh no, about 10 minutes of that, and then it happens, and somehow I pull through. But so that's my D&D prep. It's not necessarily advice. I wouldn't advise anyone to spend more than 20 minutes researching one minute aspect of the session that might come up or might not come up.
Well, I like the fact that I don't have to go and research anything about milking cows. I could just
You
call
don't.
you.
Yeah, just call me.
And say,
I'm
what was
Miguel.
that again, Morgan?
Yeah,
that's pretty fun. You know what, though? You're not alone. We all do it. We all do it.
I can't help it. I just get so invested.
I forgot the last funny thing I went down the road checking out. But, you know, it's the boring stuff, I did go down a hole with researching some agile methods, some agile things at work. And I completely lost 2 hours of my day because I wasn't even paying attention. So Morgan now wants me to scroll up so we can see the rest of the script. I mean, we've never used the script before.
Excuse you, I have this script up on my phone or laptop. Laptop when I have one, but unfortunately I don't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Why you gotta be
so next up, D&D for the first time.
So I have been
whole new world. Sorry, I got really into it for a second.
So I had seen a tweet, and it basically said from I would go with Elona, EHLOANNA on Twitter, and the link is in the description, like always. Her tweet was, "I wish I could experience learning D&D for the first time again," and that hit home really hard the last 3 weeks on my Wednesday game because Erica, who's brand new to D&D, basically, one of her first games that she's ever played in, and I can see her learning, and things that we take for granted. She asks questions, and you realize you have to explain them in smaller details and smaller chunks, right? You can't just say, "Oh yeah, go look that up over there." So.
Well, what do you mean?
Where's the bonuses for my strength? I have a 13 strength. What bonus do I have? Where do I put this? Where do I put that? Right. I mean, those are things you take for granted, but someone who's never seen a character sheet before is like, I don't know. So it's been kind of fun breaking it down for Erica and watching her learn and get hold of it. So
I love D&D, obviously, but I really love turning people onto the game for the first time. There was a tweet recently. I don't know if it was Sly Flourish. Forgive me. I don't recall who had posted it, but it was, if you had unlimited funding, what would you make for the community, and like why? And a lot of people were talking about modules and like apps that you could make that would make functionality better. And instantly the thing that came to mind was I would quit my job and become like a dungeon guide where I just teach people how to play D&D, how to build a character, what their character sheet looks like, and then take them through a quick 1 to 2 to 3 hour one shot so that they know what to expect if they want to go and find like a friendly local game store to play at. So that like it'll prep them for their first D&D group, because I feel like a lot of people are just a little overwhelmed by the concept of having to learn this entire gaming system and then be like subjected to playing it in front of people who probably have a lot more experience than them. And that's a very intimidating thing.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're friends with the people who are sitting around the table with you, I think that's something that would benefit a lot of people who are curious about the hobby but are perhaps a little trepidatious of actually joining a game for that first time.
Yes. So, Matt, what do you think? What about you? Would you, in today's world, not so much when you learn, but would you, in today's world, um, would you want to would you want to experience learning D&D for the first time in a fifth edition world?
Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to say because the first time I played, I was 9.
Wow.
And it was a long time ago.
Would it be rude for me to say what year that was? Ask you what year that is?
Oh gosh. It was.
Yes, it would be rude.
A little bit, but I'll do it. It was 1982.
1982. You were 9 in 1982. All right. So what are you worried about?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I was 81.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would change my life so much. I mean, so I don't even know how to answer the question. I mean, it is interesting. Like you were just mentioning, like new people coming to the table. In fact, last night at our weekly session, we introduced a young guy. He's 17. He played for the first time last night, and I mean, he's a natural, right? He just took to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was great. I mean, he's already got a huge backstory for his character. Everything.
Cool.
He's talking about what books he's gonna buy and what he's gonna do.
That's awesome.
So, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, just to imagine relearning it again now. I mean, if I'm the same age and stuff, well, then I've missed out on 35 years of D&D or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I don't know. It's just hard to. It's just kind of hard to imagine since I learned about it so young.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you've been playing then lots of different editions of D&D. Do you feel like you get that when you pick up a new edition? Like, did you feel like you were learning something new, like something fresh when 5e, for example, came out?
Well, it seemed really familiar, and actually, I played a lot of basic D&D.
Okay.
But I didn't play second or third.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I mean, I tried. We made some characters and stuff, but it was just always so difficult to get people, to access somebody, to get somebody to play when it took, 8 hours to make a character, in second edition or whatever. I mean, and it was just really difficult. So, so after some false starts in second edition, then I didn't play third, and I played fourth a couple of times.
Right.
And then, I was really able to get back into it with fifth edition, and it was like coming home, really. I mean, there was, obviously there were some changes and stuff, but I was just really glad to be, kind of playing again, because kind of in the meantime, I kind of had to go where my group was, so. Yeah. I ran a lot of Star Wars because everybody knows the universe, and the 6D system was easy to teach everybody,
Yes.
and things like that. And it was just hard to get somebody into D&D. And then, even then when I was going to college, third edition was popular, but it was still just so hard to find a gaming group to get even anybody together to play third edition. And now I'm kind of sad. I'm hearing from some of my younger friends that there's 10 groups or whatever at the college they're going to playing during the week and stuff, because just 5e is just so accessible now.
It is. Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah. Star Wars. So my friend George. I mention him a lot, but if you bring it up, but
Strayton?
if you're gonna bring up Star Wars, he helped write that. He was actually worked for Task Force Games at the time to write Star Wars sixth edition. I mean D6 edition.
Wow.
Okay,
the original.
Cool. Wow.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways I'm still learning, and I will be for a really long time. For example, in the game we were streaming. my instinct to use ranged spell attacks, even on prone targets, is just so strong.
It's great.
It's so strong. Oh man. Eventually I'll learn. But there's some fun in making mistakes and refusing to abide. But yeah, there is something magical about discovering things, which is one of the reasons that I think I might be alone here. But I don't like reading through subclasses for character classes that I don't actually play. Because inevitably I'm sure I will play that class, and I like the surprise of finding out in the future what boons I'm going to get. There's something amazing about leveling and discovering how I get stronger, and I don't want to spoil that. And a lot of times I do feel like that happens. So I try and avoid reading like what abilities are coming for classes that I'm not currently playing. I like that excitement,
not reading
that
ahead.
mystery. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Also, I want to apologize for my allergies. They're pretty intense. My boss was telling me this morning, he's like, "You should be on allergy medication." I'm like, "No."
You should, right? You should.
I really should. I think.
You should be on allergy medication.
I was just at the pharmacy today too, and I was like, Nasonex, no way. Oops. Well, here we are.
I am trying to get an image for us.
Yeah, I know. I you're doing a lot of clicking. I'm like.
I'm sorry.
Trying not to play the cat and following the mouse, but this desire to is strong. But should we perhaps move on to the next topic?
Sure, we can absolutely. I
right.
think we're making good time, and we can spend some time on this one. So I'm sorry, just to revisit the podcast. You also look for like artists and stuff for in. Also, you mentioned.
It kind of phased out there. Artists.
Like artists and like old school artists and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
I would like to. I'm gonna start. Reaching out to more people. I got some more interviews lined up, and then I want to interview some artists, and I'm got a few. I want to see if I can talk to actually like some special effects artists that work, on films and things, and see, how they, what they think about how, monsters and certain things like change the story or can be used in the story and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. We have a guest coming on October 3rd. Mm-hmm. October 3rd. You may have heard of him. David O'Miller used to do a lot of the artwork for Dragon Magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's coming on the show, which
I've probably seen his stuff, but I'm just not recognizing the name.
Yeah, He we're going to talk to him about how some of the art has changed in some of his fellow friends, and over the years, from where it was to where it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
He's
always a lot of fun.
We lost Dice Geek in the video.
We did,
according to CA. Yes.
All right, hold on one second.
You're messing things up.
You're messing things up.
Lost.
He's lost.
Oh no, you're tiny. Is the problem?
You're not lost. You're small.
I thought you said I was huge.
You were huge.
Oh man. So Biscuit Knight asked a question in the comments.
Oh, good. Keep everybody.
Biscuit
distraction.
Knight.
Somebody throw a distraction out there.
Smoke and mirrors. Biscuit Knight asked what my favorite class was.
She's got no class.
Excuse you.
That's rough.
I have a lot of classes. So I don't have a favorite class. There are some pairings that I like more than others.
Like wine and cheese.
Yes.
See, it's a good pairing.
And here you are saying that I have no class.
Fair enough.
I'm a box wine lady. Yeah. All right. No. So wow. I love my Path of the Ancestral Guardians Barbarian. I love the College of Whispers bard. I love the swashbuckler rogue, but there isn't necessarily a class that I like more than any other. There are subclasses that I have found I really enjoy the specialization of. I like that they read authentically. For example, I don't love the Way of the Drunken Master monk. It seems like a little too kitschy and on the nose for me to want to play a Way of the Drunken Master monk. They just seem like, how would you create that particular build in a world where is it, like, are there a lot of them? Like, it just seems like really niche, and I couldn't get behind that. So there are subclasses that I like and subclasses that I don't. But yeah, no particular favorite class. Do you have a favorite class?
Favorite class?
Yeah.
I think it's changed. Originally, I have a favorite race.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite race is elf.
Okay.
And if you wanted to go deeper, it's dark elf. I just find an affinity for them.
Okay.
But less so to play the dark elf, and more so to run dark elf, like run for like dark elf.
To fill the world with like NPC dark elves. You like them? Okay.
I like dark elves. I like dark. I would run an Underdark campaign. I tried that once before. I would do it again in a heartbeat. But but I don't have a favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite class anymore. I used to. It used to be ranger, but it's not ranger anymore.
Yeah.
I like the monk. I'm really like the monk. But I kind of grew attached to the assassin I started playing this year, and haven't had a chance to play him. But
yeah, if I had to like pick a class to play, like if you told me we're playing tomorrow, what class do you want to play? I would pick rogue. Rogues are just like fun to play. It's nice to be a little sneaky, a little devious.
Yes, I think what I like the most is that I can. I liked my assassin because what I did is I gave him a personality that was so close to mine.
Okay.
So it made it easier.
You feel.
Yeah, and then I was able to just twist it.
Okay.
Because obviously I don't go around killing people in real life that you guys know of.
Sure.
Well, that's good.
Should have brought my gun.
So Matt, do you have a favorite class?
What? This should be fun.
Oh my gosh, that is a hard question because whenever I read one of them, I think, oh man, that one's really cool. But I would probably say wizard is my favorite. And although I really do like the Eldritch Knight kind of concept for the fighter, I really like that one as well.
I know literally nothing about the Eldritch Knight fighter. So one of my friends mentioned that he might play that soon, and I was like, "Oh, okay," like nodding along. But I really know nothing about the Eldritch Knight fighter.
It's basically your fighter, but you also have some magic. So, you're usually at level 3. You're a fighter, but you can cast maybe magic missile.
Okay.
And then you can bond to your weapons, which is really fun. So if you're separated from your sword and it's on the same plane of existence, you can just call it right to your hand. It just summons right into your hand.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is
Thori.
really cool.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
Did you say Thori?
Thori, yeah. Were you able to get the file?
I'm getting it.
Oh my God.
I'm getting it. Keep going. You can move on to. You can go actions. You can start it.
So we'll start.
We should be ready by the time we're good.
So
you guys are just lucky I can multitask.
Yeah, I don't know. So our final topic of the night is Action Against Hunger charity, which is the charity we're going to be supporting on Sunday in a special episode of the Weekly Word. We were invited to participate in a charity event that Thread Raiders has put together.
Yes, we've joined their team.
Yeah,
Action Against Hunger. The link for to donate to through us to that team, to that cause, is in the description below. We'll also be pushing it out on social media starting tomorrow. So maybe we'll start off with some donations to begin with, and we'll have to go. I am going to pop this over here so Morgan can give you an update on what Action Against Hunger is.
So they are a nonprofit. They've been around since 1979, so 40 years now. They've been working in almost 50 countries to try and end child malnutrition, which is really one of like the most serious causes you can get behind. You know, it's heartbreaking. Even like locally, there are so many kids on Long Island that are hungry. And so I'm really excited to participate
It's gonna be fun.
in this event.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh boy, yeah, it is. It's going to be dramatic. I know is it every $10 after the first 20? I get to do you up in some fabulous makeup.
That's not for every $10.
Okay.
So the way we laid it out is the first before we go there, I just want to point out that Chaotic Anarchy from Thread Raiders, who's putting this whole thing together, has they've raised a little over $300 so far.
That's awesome.
And we are honored to be joining you.
Yeah.
Don't thank us for it. By all means, include us in the future. We love doing this with you. So the first $20, for every dollar on the first $20, Morgan is going to eat a chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget.
So up to a 20-piece. It sound like a lot, but a 20-piece chicken nugget is a lot.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be able to do it. No question.
Every $10 after that, I will, as I mentioned before, I will either eat a White Castle hamburger. For those of you who know what a belly bomber is, and for those of you who know that I have started a paleo lifestyle, and this is so completely against that.
Yeah.
Great. What I hope is that my doctor isn't watching this. My doctor this morning took me off my blood pressure medicine.
Rich. Oh my God. Wow.
So, no, this is good. No, this is all good news.
You'll be back on it by Monday.
Yeah. Seriously.
He liked everything. He liked the way everything was going. So I will either eat a White Castle hamburger or I will do 10 push-ups. So, because somebody had asked me, well, what if you raise $700? I said, well, that's only 70 push-ups. I know I can do over 100, so we're good, especially over the course of an hour. However, if we raise some money before it starts, we're going to be starting in a negative, so we're going to have to do some catch-up as soon as we get there. Aha, no pun.
Oh my
intended
God.
for catch-up.
Oh my God.
Lastly, and this is probably more exciting, it's just as exciting for me as everybody else, because some people want to see this, apparently. Every multiple of $50 or portion thereof, they will be transforming me from myself into a goth vampire.
Yes, I will.
So, painting my nails,
Yes.
putting on makeup, lipstick, and fangs.
Yes,
I
you're
got my
gonna
fangs.
look so fierce with that eyeliner. Let me tell you, I am like an all-star when it comes to applying eyeliner.
I can rock anything.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put that to the test. I am. I'm very excited. But yeah, it's fun to do stupid, silly things. But absolutely, if there's any takeaway that we can put out there today is just donate because it's a good cause, regardless of how silly you're gonna look in
I'm not gonna look
full
silly.
makeup.
I'm gonna look awesome.
I
I had a goth phase. I've been around long enough. I was through the 80s.
All right. But do please donate. The account is already live, so you could donate right now if you wanted to.
Yes.
You
Guilt
should.
trip. One of the things that I will say, which I thought was impressive, just to point out, the Action Against Hunger summary says that since 2005, the number of malnourished children worldwide has been reduced by almost half.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So while there's still millions, what that does is it proves that you can make a difference, and we can make a difference even by these little jumps and little leaps.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're excited.
Yeah, we are. And with that, we are up to the next section.
Next section
of the stream. Yes.
And what's it called?
It's called Who Are We and What We Are.
Who are we and what we are? Hello, Clarice.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right. Freaking me out, man. So let's start off with you, Matt. What are you watching, reading, or listening to? Pick something to plug here for us.
Oh gosh. What am I watching? Oh goodness. I was watching some. Actually, I've been putting out a lot of books, so I haven't been watching too much. But the most recent things that I was watching, I've been watching some kind of 80s post-apocalyptic movies.
Oh,
Okay.
which
So I'm gonna be
ones?
doing, oh gosh, here goes. Let's see. World Gone Wild.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
Nope.
Then, well, I dipped into the 70s. I watched Damnation Alley.
Oh.
Then
Escape from New York.
I haven't watched that one recently, but I mean that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm doing a presentation at a con. I decided to do a presentation on post-apocalyptic movies for some reason, and so I was kind of catching up on some of the old ones that I haven't seen in a while. But yeah, Escape from New York would be a good one to watch again. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I watched another one. Oh, kind of like I was looking into like kind of Mad Max plus Star Wars, which kind of happened in the early 80s, and there was Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
Wow.
I watched that one.
Ice Pirates? Sorry, it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's really good.
It's I haven't seen Ice Pirates in probably since 1986 or something. But
Space herpes.
I'll have to check that one out. But it's not post-apocalyptic, although they do have some pretty cool vehicles and stuff that almost do look like post-apocalyptic stuff. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching.
Cool.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've been watching a competition television show on Netflix called Blown Away, which is a glass blowing competition, which is super short, very consumable, and that's why I've been watching it. It's adorable. It's like 20-minute episodes, and you get to see people who are really talented produce some really beautiful stuff. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
I am catching up on Fear the Walking Dead. Because I am done with everything else. You did, CA. You heard me say that. Space herpes.
Oh.
Yeah, Ice Pirates.
Yeah, the Ice Pirates reference. What was that? Space herpes. But we're going to jump back really quick.
Okay.
Because I forgot to mention that we're going to have a very special guest with us.
Yes.
We're going to have a very special guest with us on Sunday. And she's going to be very angry if we don't mention that she's going to be there.
Okay.
This is a fashion diva, just back from Ireland and, kissing the Blarney Stone and all that. Little C. So for those of us that know her, here's a quick picture of Little C. Little C will be joining us on Sunday as our very special guest. We'll be hopefully talking about an upcoming D&D campaign featuring Little C. I don't know what character she's going to play, but I will be running that campaign.
That's going to be out of control.
It's going to definitely be out of control, to say the least. She is a little diva, and she is awesome and funny. We hope. Okay, we can move back on.
All right. That brings us to what didn't you say no to, Matt? This is
new for you.
A segment just for our guest.
So what is it?
So you need to share with us something that you didn't say no to, something that you agreed to, whether for better or for worse.
Like this past week or something? Or?
No, whatever.
Whatever time frame you want to give it.
It could be childhood. Could have been.
Okay.
I didn't say no to the guy who approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to play D&D?"
Well, yeah, I didn't say no to that. Oh gosh.
It's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it is, because, especially since if I can go all the way back. What didn't I say no to? I didn't say no to being the permanent GM for about 17 years.
Wow.
That's what I didn't say no to.
Wow.
I understand, my friend.
That's an impressive yes.
That's
right.
very, very good.
Yeah.
We stopped answering these questions because we found out that we were going to run out of things really quickly, and we'd start answering stupid like, "I didn't say no to dinner tonight."
It's more interesting when it's just for our guest anyway. So before we move on to the next section, there is a special segment that we need to cover
What
this week.
Smurfy send?
What did Smurfy send? So we received a package all the way from Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you very much, Smurfy. We've been really looking forward to finding out what mysteries this contains. I hope
it's high alcohol
We've been
beer.
talking about it for like
Months.
plural. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. Just to be completely honest.
So, you
All
don't know
right.
what's in there?
We don't. She told us we had to open it on air, so
Yeah.
you'll be as surprised as we are, Matt.
Okay.
Okay. I was told there's something just for me, which I'm like, I don't know what that means. All right. Ooh, okay.
Smurfy, we can't do this on air.
Oh, that is amazing.
I love it.
You got to show that off.
I love it. If you can see it, it says Rich, the unloved and unliked DMGM. That was the moniker I was going for many, many months. I'm going to hang on to it.
Yeah.
Because, once I kill my party on Wednesday,
You
I will be unloved and unliked.
You very well might
so
be.
I'm gonna keep this. This is awesome. Thank you very much, Smurfy.
This is amazing. Look what I got.
Nice.
So it's I've got to do some research now because I'm not sure what these glyphs are. But that's my name for sure, right there in the middle of this D20.
Very nice.
And the mushrooms are adorable. I love it. Thank you so much.
Smurfy, you hit it out of the park.
Yeah, and there's one more thing. Let's see.
Looks like a scroll.
It does.
It is.
If
it's a cursed scroll, I'll love you even more.
No, don't.
Or is it 6-level fireball or
Oh,
something?
wow.
This is awesome.
Wow.
This looks great.
This is amazing. We got to put it up on the background.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get this put up on our background. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says the weekly word, Rich and Morgan, and it's got the AD&D, the ampersand in the middle.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. Wow.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, thank you so much.
And here I thought she didn't like me.
This is so cool. Wow. Oh, I'm so touched. I love it. Thank you. This was definitely worth waiting for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Murphy.
I'm so happy.
This is great.
We got to find some way to mount this.
We will.
All right, cool.
We'll come up with something.
Wow.
In the meantime, we will hand this back over to Matt. And Matt, please tell us where our audience and everybody can find you.
Okay. Well, you can find me and everything that I do at dicegeeks.com. I also have, my books are on DriveThruRPG, still under dicegeeks.com. They're on Amazon. So you can find me there. I did just put out a new book of random tables called the Book of Random Tables Quests.
Yes, I saw that.
It is 1,000 quest ideas.
Wow.
And they're organized randomly in different ways, like dungeon hooks, royal quests, forest quests, doorways to different worlds, dungeon hooks. Then I have 100 lost cities. I have 100 questing beasts and 100 questing objects. So you can if you just grab one of those, you can just throw that right into your campaign and give your party a quest to complete.
That's really cool.
And so, and that can be found at dicegeeks.com or, like I said, at Amazon or DriveThruRPG. If you just do Dice Geeks, kind of all squished together as one word, you can just search and find it there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, those links are in our description, so please go check it out. I am going to pick up the random adventure hooks because I love adventure hooks. Because I do, I really do. I'm actually gonna go and get that one. I may get the other ones at some other point too, Matt. I'm not lying to you. I will because I love random tables. I don't know why, but I am addicted to random tables. I have sat down so many times by myself doing the random dungeon generator.
Yeah.
So.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate any sale. I mean, this is fantastic. So that would mean it would mean a ton. Yeah.
Of course, and we will of course push it. And you are always, by the way, Dice Geeks is always in our description. So if you forget, every week they're as part of our supporters. So the website is always there. When we open up our own website, we will have links there too. So.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you coming. We appreciate you coming back on. We've gotten ahead of ourselves with booking ahead. With guests. So.
I've got somebody for the 10th, by the way.
Yeah, we're already into October. We're already into October 10th.
Yeah.
With booking ahead for guests.
Yep.
No, that's awesome.
So I'm sure by the time it comes around and you want to actually talk to us again, if you're not too busy with your podcast, hopefully you'll have another 1,000 or so random things.
Yes.
When I pick up the product, if you don't mind, I will review it.
Oh,
Because
Mm-hmm.
that we started. That's a new segment.
Yeah. So
we got.
speaking of our reviews.
I was just going to quickly go through who's coming up.
Oh, all right.
No. I mean, it's
By
okay.
all means, yes.
All right. So this Sunday we're joined by Little C,
Mm-hmm.
and then next Thursday we'll be joined by Mets Girl, and then the week after that is David O'Miller. Oh, it's only 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we have someone on the 10th who's joining us on the 10th.
Remy.
Remy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Remington Steele.
Yes.
No.
Remington Steele.
That would be awesome.
No.
Well,
Re-
the 80s references don't stop tonight.
They do not.
Yeah. So nice lineup.
I'm just waiting for a heart-to-heart reference.
Or Simon and Simon.
Yes.
So, getting back on track. If you want us to review something, you can leave a comment in the video. You can email us at social media at lrhobbies.com. You can hit us up on Twitter. I was just hit up on Twitter by D&D Elise to review a Feywild themed D&D 5e supplement. So that's exciting. We'll have to touch on that in the coming weeks.
If you send me a link, I absolutely will read through it and thw some notes together.
Yeah.
Love to do it. I always need something more to do at work. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Well, oh boy.
Yeah, I keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
Sometimes testing is just so boring,
Oh my
and
goodness.
we just released a new project, and we're just testing. I don't like testing.
Oh boy.
Just sit in the room with guys. Anyway.
October Faction.
Okay, so October Faction. I got an update on October Faction. It's a project by our friend George Strayton. This is why I mention him all the time. I apologize. He's the co-executive producer on that. It just finished up. However, the production date has been pushed to January on Netflix.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we will probably remind everybody, once a month or so as it gets closer and I get more information.
Right.
Morgan's turn.
Octocon.
Dead air.
Excuse you. Octocon Gaming Convention is going to be happening on October 19th and 20th at the Bethpage Library. It is a free event. You informed me that you have times and information like that.
I do have times and information like that. I don't. Oh my God! Why is it not in front of me? I thought I was supposed to put it in the script. Oh wait, I was supposed to put it in the script, wasn't I? All right. So it goes from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Saturday, and it goes from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh.
We have there's all sorts of RPG events and tabletop board gaming events. Rebecca, my daughter, is running kids games.
That's so cool.
And
for her.
I will be running around like a lunatic, running our booth and running some kids games and doing some recordings for the library for their website. So it looks to be fun. There's going to be an escape room there.
That's awesome.
So
that's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, this is me.
That's you.
So so LI Tabletop. Keep an eye out for the LI Tabletop Twitch and YouTube channel coming this week. I have been tasked with setting that up.
Wow.
So I will be setting that up. Long Island, for those who don't know, Long Island Tabletop gets its own convention in April. There will be an escape room on that, which I am designing with a small team. And there will be some form of live dungeon, which I will be also working with a small team to help design.
That's awesome.
So that should be a lot of fun. I may use some random tables in it, Matt.
Whoa.
Oh, well, there you go.
But the Twitch and YouTube channel will be coming up this week, and then from there look for some great content on there.
Awesome.
On a weekly and monthly basis. Links for all subjects that we've covered tonight are in the video description.
If you like the video, do please click the subscribe button, hit that bell so you get our notifications. It's just that simple.
Right. And if you would like to be a guest on the Weekly Word, direct message me on Twitter. Don't DM me because I was like, it was weird. Twitter at LR Terrain, or email me directly, rich.parla@lrhobbies.com. We are currently booking into October. So by all means, send us a note and we will get you on the schedule because we love you all.
Yes. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at LR Terrain, on Instagram at Legendary Realms Games. And you can become a patron on Patreon by heading over to patreon.com/theweeklyword.
It's only $1 to support us. One water a month.
One water. I had one this week.
Yes. And it's not paid for.
No.
Help her.
I'm parched. Help me.
I'm Rich Parla.
I'm Morgan West.
Matt,
And I'm Matt Davids.
thank you for joining us.
Until next week.
Until next week. No, till Sunday. Don't wait till next week. Join us on Sunday.
Sunday.
We will send out the link as soon as we can.
Yes. Take care.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.